are legit. But synergy is on ground. Funding for it is on ground. So if I'm a young person, I'm going to look for how can I get my own share of that, obedient or no obedient. I go collect my own first. Then we talk about changing the government if we think it's a bad idea or whatever. And that's what we are about, so that nobody mistakes this space for a Tinubu propaganda. I don't do that stuff. I don't do it. I'm not with any government, believe that or not. Right now, my book, I'm trying to cash out with my book, if you like to say that. Okay? Because this time, I'm not giving the book for free. I was send this one, okay? Because I'm my intellectual property, okay? All right, guys. Beautiful Flower, I'm going to hand over the stage to you. I'll let you moderate it. Me and Akin will come in when we need to. So, but you do a much better job keeping it even balanced. And then when somebody speaks also, I would prefer, let's say the person spoke more in favor of the government. You want to try to pick people who can clap back at the person, so that we have a balanced debate. So you want to pick like an obedient or articulate who may have something to say against that, so that we have fun. And then, of course, don't let it degenerate to where they're now abusing each other. But let's have fun. It's called low grade bass boost, and you know that. Over to you, beautiful Flower.
Okay. Hi, Dr. Foy. Hi, Akin. Hi, everyone. Me, I don't have much to say, to be honest. I was shocked when I heard that some people were encouraging people not to take advantage of what their government provided for them, made available to them. That's just ridiculous. But, Akin made a good summation on that. So, Mr. Godswill, please go on.
Okay, so thank you, my brother Saki and Ope. So here's the thing, okay? A couple of days ago, Zamfara State Governor was, had his own, forces, and he was approaching, terrorists to completely wipe them out, completely destroy them. And on his way to completely destroy these terrorists that's been terrorizing and devastating his communities in Zamfara State, he got a call from Aso Rock. And the call was that he shouldn't terminate or destroy those terrorists, that he should pull back. And I'm thinking to myself, who in the world will be holding back an opportunity to terminate terrorists that have been destroying and killing and devastating villages? Now, we're talking about policies and actions in the federal that are supposed to impact the lives of citizens. Are you telling me that if I were to come from Zamfara State, that my life is less than those of animals? Because even if you give me $1 million in my pocket, my brother, and I'm being slaughtered every day by bandits and terrorists, what is the use of that $1 million in my pocket? What is the use of $100 million in my pocket if tomorrow I'm going to wake up tomorrow just to step outside and get slaughtered by terrorists and bandits? What is the value of that NEL fund, of that grant that they put in the alert that came into my bank account this morning, saying that the government has credited me with $100 million? What is the value of that if my wife and kids are going to be slaughtered the next time they step outside the house? Sometimes we have to be retrospective the way we think about the role of government in the lives of citizens, because the value of life, when I can sit in my house, and if I feel that I'm being threatened, maybe let's say in Texas or California, and I pick up and I call 911, and within 3 minutes, a SWAT team will be right in front of my door protecting me. But you have villages all across Nigeria being slaughtered. Yes, the government might give them $100 million each for grants or for NEL fund. But how is that $100 million going to protect them when they are being slaughtered every day by terrorists and bandits, and their wives and children are getting raped? How does that money help them? If they die, will that money resurrect them? So sometimes we have to be retrospective. And I know that we kind of discount the issue of insecurity. But the problem is that insecurity is the main crux of the failures in every policy. I don't care how supernatural those policies are. But as long as you cannot protect and safeguard the lives and properties of citizens, no policy, no matter how magical the policy is, no matter how much grant you give people, no matter how much millions of dollars you put in people's pocket, that is not going to make any impact because they are going to be slaughtered, and that money is not going to be, it's going to be useless for them. So we have to now begin to rethink our approach to governance. What is the government doing in Kwara State to protect citizens that are being held hostage for the past couple of months and forced to pay illegal taxes to terrorists? Do you know what that means for a sovereign country like Nigeria? That means that you've actually ceded your governance structure as a sovereign nation to a bunch of terrorists and bandits on that particular, in a sovereign country like Nigeria. We're all interconnected. Yes, the Zamfara state people might be in Zamfara, Kwara might be in Kwara, I will be in Abia, and we're all, we might be separate places, geographical locations, but we are connected. If I'm trying to run a business that is going to supply a particular kind of product, I will not be only supplying it to Abia State or River State, or I'm going to be thinking of it's nationwide. What will happen if during when I'm trying to distribute, when I'm trying to move my product from point A to point B, and my convoy or my trailer is being held by bandits and my drivers are slaughtered while moving those products from point A to point B? How does that affect my business? It doesn't care if I have a $200 million company. It's useless. It's rubbish if I can't move my product or services from point A to point B, from one part of the country to another because of insecurity.
I have a question so that you have 1 minute to respond to it as part of it, because you keep repeating it. And the question I am putting to you, so I want to be sure I'm understanding you. So you're saying because, in your own opinion, there is a bad security in Nigeria, people should not take advantage of NEFON? Is that what I'm hearing?
I'm saying that
because hold on, let me finish the question now. Because those are two separate things. They are two separate things. This room is about what is this government doing that can benefit. But I'm hearing you are saying they're not helping you because your business is not safe. But I want you to tell me those policies they put in place that the average individual, just like you keep mentioning this NEL fund or whatever, are you saying because of lack of security, people should not? Because criticism of the government is different from the opportunities that the government is creating. Yeah, they're two separate things. I'm not running a room to criticize what Tinubu is doing wrong. I want to talk about what has he done right that can benefit you, if any. So you can go there and take advantage of it, even though you see other areas that you're quarreling with him. If a student is out there that doesn't like Tinubu right now and who wants to vote against him in the next election, does it mean that student should not go and collect education fund if he needs one? So let's situate the two things. And by the way, again, this might put me in a situation of like I'm trying to defend the Tinubu government. But when you look at international stuff that they are saying about, apparently he's doing better in security now than the other governments before him. I found that difficult to believe myself, but that's what the research tells me. And I do my research. So put all of that in perspective as we wrap up your presentation. Thank you.
Oh, yeah, good. By the way, go ahead and put your book in the Jumbotron so I can go ahead and buy a copy, because I think your book might be revolutionary, and everybody should get it. Congratulations, by the way, for your book. I'm proud of you.
Yes, thank you. I'm going to put it next week. I wanted to talk to you. Yes.
Yeah, it is on Amazon. Yeah. Okay, so here's the thing. I really wish that Tinubu can repurpose most of his resources to actually securing the country, because realistically, we have so many things most of us want to do back home. There are so many things most of us would like to bring: value chain, resources, networks, opportunities that we all want to bring back home. But the problem is that we're not going to bring it back home at the risk of loss of life. Realistically, let's be honest. At least we know that the chances of demise, of being slaughtered, is really, really high. I mean, that is so. If you can repurpose it honestly, and I'll be honest with you guys right now, forget about the fact that I'm obedient, forget about the fact that all the things I've been saying on my timeline and all that. I really, really want the country to be safe, so that we can be able to do the things we need to do in our motherland. There's so much. You know that. You live in the US. There's so much that we want to do back home, but we are unable to do that because when we factor in the risk component of the insecurity, it just cancels out our net income. So I mean, realistically, that's all I have to say. He can repurpose. Let's fix
So,
security
so,
first.
so, Gospel, let me engage you here, and I like all the things you're saying. So, permit me to ask you a few questions, if you don't mind. So, number one, do you possess a Nigerian passport?
Yes, I do.
Is it a valid Nigerian passport?
Yes, it
Will
is.
you travel to Nigeria without Nigerian passport?
The passport belongs to me as a Nigerian.
No,
It's my right.
question now. Is your right?
Yeah,
So,
it's my right.
will
It's my
you will
obligation.
you
Nobody can
use
deny
that
me
passport to
citizenship.
travel to Nigeria on holidays or business, whatever? Just question.
Yes, I can. Yes, I
Okay,
do.
so the same thought process that allows you to find it logical to get on a plane, use your Nigerian passports issued to you by a federal government of Nigeria, headed by a Bola Ahmed Tinubu, is the same logical position for a child that would apply for nail fund, talking of all the insecurity that would kill him if he decides to complete an undergraduate program, or a businessman that collects a government funding, because again, it's a funding or a grant that's available to him as a citizen. So I'm just trying to again bring you home. Second question for you: would you visit your hometown on holidays if you have the uh opportunity? First question.
I would. I'm dying to. I'm
No, wait,
dying
hold
to.
on now, hold on. Yes, you want to. I hear the energy in your voice. Can you sleep peacefully in a house in your hometown, wherever
No,
that
I
is in
can't.
Nigeria?
No, I cannot.
Okay. And if you will not mind me asking, what is your hometown?
Somewhere in Abia State.
Okay, Abia State. Now, you are unable to sleep in your hometown, in your family compound peacefully. I am able to sleep in my own hometown, in my family compound in Osun State. And I'm going somewhere with this. Security at the first level, first layer, is a responsibility of the local community, backed by support from the state government and next the federal government. But state government, we don't have state police, so everything is federal. You might talk of,
Zamfara State,
yeah.
where they want to go and kill terrorists,
No,
and
wait,
the
hold on now.
government and the federal say they
Hold on
shouldn't.
now. Hold on. I'm going somewhere with this. Now, Nigeria is insecure, is what we would tag it as if I'm talking to a foreigner, right? So you need to have extra layers of security to know that you come visit me in Nigeria, I can leave Nigeria in one piece. Because again, overwhelmingly, there's a lot of reports of insecurity. But when you now break it down into communities, into regions, you now find out that some regions are much more unsafer than other regions. Same way you have, economic or infrastructural development, where some regions are much more developed than other regions. For example, if you end up in some communities in Osun State and your iPhone charger goes bad, you may not be able to find an iPhone charger within a 20-kilometer radius, right? That's an original iPhone charger. If you're in Lagos, in some communities next door to your building, you might be able to find an original iPhone charger. Same thing if you're going to the north. So it is relative depending on the community. So I would not now take that blanket, or that broad brush and paint the whole country, where I can go visit my family in Ife and sleep and not lock my front door and wake up the next day, does not mean that because you cannot come to Abia and sleep in your family compound, the entire country is unsafe. So let's be very nuanced, let's be very careful now. And I'm not even going to go as far as blaming people in communities that have suffered violence and banditry and everything, where there's not a federal security system that can insulate them from these problems. But then, when you now talk of certain types of crime, certain types of insecurity, reports, you now find out that at a community level, the community even fails its own self, because it's locals and residents and indigenes that are making it hard for other indigenes like yourself. Again, not saying your own unique community in Abia is, this is the case, but I'm just saying. So when we now paint this project, it is Bola Ahmed Tinubu's job to secure you in your village, in your family compound, among your relatives, among your community members, where he has no business, because the first layer of security should come from your immediate community. I think we need to be very, very, very fair. So I'm only saying this because, yes, places where they are plagued by terrorism, people with big machine guns, people with imported arms from the Sahel, or communities where there's what I call externally influenced violence for many reasons. Maybe they are trying to mine gold or whatever it is, natural resources, or even the Niger Delta where there's bunkery. those kinds of security situations I can concede. But then overwhelmingly, when we paint this brush and say, oh, Nigeria is insecure, sometimes I want to push back. That's just my submission.
Okay, no, I know. I appreciate that, and I'm going to round up with this. Okay, thank you very much. I appreciate your explanation. I'm going to round up with this. Okay, we look at ourselves in Nigeria as
Can I
being.
ask him a question before,
Hello?
so that I can round up with that question?
Oh yeah, Victor, go ahead and ask. So I can round up.
Please, have you ever been to Zamfara in your entire life? And do you know how many to the current population of Zamfara?
I've been to Zamfara, yeah. But I don't know the details of the population. But I've been to Zamfara, yeah.
I have a question also, please, sir. I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, the question is Southwest that look relatively peaceful, do they have extra police security cover from federal government such that it makes that Southwest zone relatively peaceful compared to other zones? Do they have extra police cover?
Thank you for the question. So the point I make is this, and I'm going to answer everything. I'm going to kind of put it in one sentence, okay? The CEO, the Chief Executive Officer of the state, Zamfara State, was the one that was leading the march to destroy terrorists. He identified their location, he identified their position, he mobilized his forces, and was on approach to destroy these terrorists. But he got a call from the federal government: do not touch my anointed. The instruction from the federal government: do not touch my anointed terrorists. Do not touch them. Back off. Don't kill them. If you're supposed to get an instruction, a command from the federal government to back off and not touch terrorists in Zamfara State, why do you think, if you try to destroy terrorists in Abia State or Lagos or Oshu, why do you think that the instruction from us, from federal government, will not come for you to back off from trying to terminate the anointed terrorists in your local area? If they're able to do it to Zamfara State governor, a CEO of the state. Sometimes we talk about Nigeria as if we are all separate and distinct and we live in different. No, we're all connected. We are brothers and sisters, my brother. We are brothers and sisters, whether you're living in the north, south.
Please, did the governor play the message of that call to you?
The governor, do you want me to share the? I'm going to.
Yes, I was going to actually ask that. You are saying that the government said they should not kill terrorists, they should not touch them. What are you talking about? I want to hear that one. I want to hear you.
From a credible source.
Okay, so yeah, okay. I'm going to finish and I'm going to submit. I'm going to share the post. So the thing is this: if the governor, it's this bunch of bandits, and he was told to back off, and it happened to him as the CEO of Zamfara State, then what are the chances that it will not happen when I try to, or maybe a force, or maybe a group of people, or the CEO of Abia State wants to protect and terminate terrorists that come to kill and slaughter people in Abia State? If it happens, Zamfara, it can happen. We're all interconnected. We are brothers and sisters. So the point I'm making is this: we have to first fix. And I agree with, nail phone grants and all that. I mean, people collect loan. I mean, you know that. There are thousands of people that collect loan every day in the US for school, for buildings, for car, for everything.
Sorry, Mr. Goswell. Sorry, please. Sorry for interjecting. Please. The information you are saying that the governor was told, the governor was told to back off with the security forces, I think that's an incorrect information.
Okay,
you got that information from Sahara Reporter. Now, the real information was that he said, this is what he said. He said he knows the hideouts. He was tracking the insurgents with his phone, that he sees them from his phone, but he lacks the power to command security operatives to act. That was his statement. He did not say he was told to back off. He said,
but that's what you are saying.
Security activities to act. There is a video of him talking. I have that video. I have watched it. But you saying that the federal government told him to back off, that is an
okay. I'm going to post that link. I'm going to send you the link. I'm going to share the link with the co-host so they can post it on Jumbotron. But the point I'm making is this: is that the priority, which is supposed to be, and Dr. P knows this, the priority, the primary objective of the federal government is protect lives and properties. It's not about investment. It's not about giving grants. It's not about giving them money or putting money in their pocket. The primary objective of the government is protect the lives and properties of citizens. That is the primary objective. Every other thing is secondary. Every other thing is secondary. And if you cannot do this and you're doing all the secondary things, there's no justification.
I don't think we should be encouraging propagandists like this, though. I think we should increase
I'm gonna finish with this. And that is that we should fix. I really hate to wake up in the morning to see 200 people being slaughtered in the north, 300 people being slaughtered in Banwo, 500 people being slaughtered in Niger State. I hate to see it because these are our brothers and sisters. These are lives.
I can't let you get away with that. As you close, listen to me.
I have a pushback.
There's proof and there's statistics to show that
Doctor, observation, please.
Most of the terrorist activities that is taking place in the place that should concern you, which is the East, is being done by your fellow brothers. You are not talking about that, right?
Okay.
You are talking about Zamfara. You are talking about the North, the East. Who has held them to in suspended terror? Is it government or is it even terrorists from the North? No, we found out that it's not X-Men. It is actually your people, and that's what Akin is talking about. Responsibility for maintaining peace in your area primarily rests with the community. Why are they not killing themselves in Osun State? Why are they not killing themselves in Ogun State? Why are they? So those questions must be asked. I'm not excusing anybody.
I'm not in support of people killing people in my community.
Yeah,
really,
Doctor, observation, please.
I've been speaking against them for the longest. No, seriously.
Okay, because you didn't mention it. I wanted you to mention it.
Mm-hmm. So here's the thing. I've been standing against people killing.
Okay, one at a time. Gospel, can you just wrap up?
Let Gospel. I think we've been interrupting him. Yeah, let him round up. I'll give you 2 minutes to round up, and then I'll take response to you again since you round the room up. So just round up quickly.
Okay, so I'm gonna start by saying this. Okay, all lives are precious. All lives are created in God's own image. The death of somebody in Zamfara State, the death of somebody in Abia State, the death of somebody in Lagos, in Niger State, is not less than the death of somebody in Aso Rock. We are all equal. We are all human beings. We are all made in God's image. We should mourn the death of any Nigerian that dies a senseless death. And we should do everything in our power to stop it. And I want to see more efforts from the federal government making active. It doesn't matter whether they are IPOB people in Southeast or Boko Haram in North. I just want the federal government to take active role, active participation, visit these communities, not sending delegates to go and visit, actually visiting, because it makes people that live in the US, we see when there's a victim of violence, mass killing here in the US, we see the president actually there in person, talking with the victims, making sure, assuring them that this is not going to happen. He's going to do everything to stop it from happening. I want to see that kind of response from our commander-in-chief. I want to see him try to make an active effort to stop killings and violence of innocent lives in Nigeria, whether they are whether they are lives in Southeast, lives in South, in North, life in the West. It doesn't matter. We are all equal. We are all the same. No one is much bigger or less than the other. All lives are precious. Let's stop this killing, my brothers. Thank you.
Thank you.
Please, can I ask him a question about America? He stays in America. Please, does he know the figures of gun violence
Guys, please stop interrupting. I'm going to move away from him. I'm not sure who was going to reply to him. I think it was Ayo and Jackie. Ayo, please.
No, just a quick observation, please.
Yeah, just give me 1 second. Ayo, please go on.
Thank you. I have a pushback. It just seems to me like he had an intent of just driving a particular narrative. So when it comes to Nigeria and policies, I don't think there's any reason to be partisan because the policies will speak for themselves, whether they are good or bad. First and foremost, I just like to first declare that I don't think it makes sense when you say because there's security challenge in Zamfara, the man in Osun State or in Bayelsa State or in Delta State should not apply for NEL fund. It doesn't make any sense. Secondly, I don't know when last you were in Nigeria. I live in Nigeria. I travel to almost all the nooks and crannies of Nigeria, and when you people or someone like you, let me not say people, fervently speak about insecurity, I wonder where you get it from. Now, I've been to places and I can tell you all the dangerous spots, seemingly dangerous spots that they say they're dangerous that I've been to. So Tunga to Abuja, the Nasarawa and Abuja border that crosses them. It's 5 hours. Tunga is in Nasarawa, but it's a 5-hour journey from crossing from Abuja into Tunga, to the end of Tunga. So Tunga is the borderline between Taraba, Benue, and Nasarawa State. They say before I went to Tunga, they say the place is very dangerous, that kidnapping activities and all of that, yada, yada, yada. So I was scared. So instead of going straight to Tunga, I stopped in Abuja because it was 5 p.m. They said after 5 p.m., don't get on the road to Tunga. So the following morning, I proceeded to Tunga. I thought it was going to be a completely desolated place. To my chagrin, I saw people living, enjoying their lives and everything in Tunga. I even stopped to buy because MTN doesn't work there. I stopped to buy my Airtel SIM and proceeded to do my business in Tunga. Then from Tunga to a place called Gidan Yobe, it's like an hour drive. As a matter of fact, when we were going to Gidan Yobe, our vehicle was the only vehicle on the road from Tunga to Gidan Yobe. And Gidan Yobe is a full Fulani community. No other tribe lives there. And nothing happened to us on the road. We went to Gidan Yobe and came back from Gidan Yobe, nothing happened. Then I proceeded to Adamawa, the supposedly notorious Yola Medugri Road, that nobody must pass there, bandits and all of that. To my surprise, we drove all the way from Yola to Yola Medugri Road to Sheleng. As a matter of fact, I was surprised to see people living there. There's a full autonomous community called Guyuk that they live on that axis. And off that road is the road you take to Kiritan and straight to Sheleng. People live there, have their lives, breeding their family, going to farms and all of that. There's no part of Nigeria I've not gone to. About 3 or 4 months ago, one of the major companies did rice distribution to the nooks and crannies of the whole of Nigeria, to all the 36 states, everything by road. And they went and delivered all the trailer loads of rice by road to every destination in different parts of the states. And they came back. Every day in Nigeria, Lafarge, Boa, Dangote deliver cement to the nook and cranny of every part of Nigeria. We've never heard that, people were kidnapped on the road or they seized their vehicles and all of that. So when people from the diaspora, because these narratives are usually from people from the diaspora, when they come and say these things, it's really shocking. And when you try to put it to them to say, oh, it's not that, they begin to spot you and say, oh, it's because you're APC. But I'm sharing my lived experience to say, these are the places I go to and these are the things I see. And I see people living there and they're living their life. They have schools in those communities, and all of that. So when people come with this shocking narrative to say, oh, the whole of Nigeria is unsafe, they are killing people by the millions and all of that, I think we should be very careful, because sometimes when you say, and that's why people say you're demarketing, it's not as much as you're demarketing, but because you are an ambassador of your country. When you say these things, for those of us that do international business, those are the narratives those people will take. Oh, when you go and approach them, they say, oh, you can't do business in Nigeria. Your country is unsafe. You have security issues. We can't bring our investments in. So you cannot, by your own hands.
Ayo, please let me remind them that they stay in a country where 1,000 people get killed every day. Gun violence, 1,000 every day.
I don't like to be, Victor, I don't like to be interjected. Just, I'm rounding up, please. So we cannot, by our own admission, that we're supposed to be the ambassadors, be the ones to destroy, the investments are supposed to bring in the country. So for those of you that don't live in the country, I think you need to do a proper research before you come to public platforms and say some of the things that you say that are quite untrue. I'm not saying there are no challenges. We have pockets of security challenges in places, but it's not to the exponential scale some of you tend to portray on social spaces. Thank you.
All right, let me come in, Dr. Kwe. So I will push back. When you use pockets.
No, please, Aki, just a quick.
I'll let you come.
Sorry, can I have some seconds?
Guys, Joaquin, just hold on. Hold tight. So Ayo, I hear the energy and the passion with which you speak. For me, I only have one country. I want Nigeria to be the best version of itself, but I would not dismiss the fact that even while I would, put Godswill on the spot and challenge him that his community is failing him with keeping his neighborhood secure, obviously knowing that yes, there are greater security challenges that communities can manage, it would be unfair to say that many of the poor and what I call, again, vulnerable Nigerians in the Northeast and Northwest who have to suffer the scourge of terrorism that's plaguing the surface of the earth, not just those regions, as something that we sweep under the rug and not highlight as challenges, I think would be very unfair. Many of those communities you drove through, yes, while they are there living their lives, they don't have passports to get on planes. They cannot rent houses in Ikoyi or Banana Island and hide themselves behind high fences. So they have to be exposed to that weather of insecurity. So the day a group of ragtag bandits would cross into their communities and maim and kill them in their hundreds and leave their bodies out in the open, all we'll do is, hey, yeah, we will never even talk about it on Twitter. It may not even make the news cycle, but it would be unfair to those Nigerians that, have to suffer these things greatly with saying, oh, maybe it rarely happens or it happens once in a while. I don't think that would be true. Equally, as you drove through those communities, if I asked you to pitch tent to those people in those neighborhoods that you mentioned and live with them for 2 weeks, I'm sure you will sleep with one eye open. So those are the things we have to address, and we have to be very honest and transparent about. Yes, I would love to see foreign direct investments. I would love to see investors trooping in to different communities across the country, but we cannot underscore the fact that, again, there's failure in certain areas when it comes to keeping communities safe, where we've seen a massive target or influx of terrorism. And I think we have to stay balanced is what I'm just asking for. Yeah, I don't care if you're APC, LP, PDP, but I think for those people that suffer violence at the hands of these monsters, we should not give the monsters cover with saying, oh, it rarely happens or it's occasional. No, there's a scourge. And I think until communities can sleep with both eyes closed, we need to keep highlighting this. I just wanted to push back. But back to you. Beautiful.
So I can quickly, let me just, a short counter. Now, as I rounded up, I did acknowledge that we have security challenges in some places. But here's the thing, because I film across the length and breadth of Nigeria. So these places, when you challenge me to say stay 2 weeks in those places, sometimes I stay a month in those places because I'm filming and I'm traversing the length and breadth of those
two
regions.
eyes closed. I know you stay.
I make a bold statement to say I sleep with my 2 eyes closed because I understand those communities. Unless I said that before going there, I hear a lot of serious stuff that makes me scared. But when I get there and I meet the people and I get to talk to them, and I'll give you a typical example. So I went to a place called Ewa in Kogi State. So it's a relocated community, it's a mine community that was relocated from a blasting site to the Ewa community, Oyewa community. So we went into the forest to film. Shortly after we left the forest to come back to the Obas Palace, the local Obas Palace, in less than 10 or 15 minutes, they brought somebody in, with machete cuts all over his body. What happened? I said, we just left this place. We saw this man and we spoke to him. They said shortly after we left, he had a clash with some Fulani people who were passing their cows through his farm and they engaged themselves and he was attacked. So some of these things, of course, do happen. That's why I say I admit, because I cannot say now I experienced that because I want to say the government is good. I will not say my experience that, oh, I did witness a point where a Fulani person attacked. So I don't know whether to now call it that Fulani marauders attacking him, but it was an altercation. Don't go through my phone and all that, and it was macheted. So we have these things occur in these places, but we'll not say because of that incident that happened at that portion in Oyewa community, then the whole Oyewa community is unsafe, which would be untrue. Thank you.
No, the thing is this. When you go from one state to the other, okay, in Nigeria, when I go from one state to the other, before the journey, I do like prayer. The first thing in my mind is this going to be my last day on earth? Am I going to be killed? Am I going to be slaughtered? Is my convoy going to be attacked? I keep praying and praying and praying and praying. Sometimes we keep thinking throughout the 8 hours of the journey, because the first thing in our mind is that this could be our last day on earth. Every time I get on the road, moving from point A to point B, this is my procedure. I always pray, I always sing throughout this journey, and we keep on praying. But do you know that for me to drive from Texas to Florida or from Texas to North Dakota, I don't even have to pray. The last thing in my mind is to think that I'm going to be slaughtered on my way from Texas to North Dakota or from Texas to Colorado. That is the last thing on my mind. But why? But in Nigeria, every time I think of going from one state to the other, my mind is going to be in the heaven until I get to my destination, and I'm going to be praying and singing and praying and wishing that and praying that I get to my destination alive. So why does it have to be like that?
Thank
so
you.
That is what I'm saying.
Thank you.
One final thing for me.
Let's roll the mic.
I'm sorry.
Hold on.
I'm sorry.
Please.
Please. It's 10 seconds. It's 10 seconds. It's just 10 seconds. So God's will. The reason why I dread traveling to America is because I feel that in America, I can get shots. The last time I was supposed to travel to America with my family, I didn't go. My wife went. She was dodging bullets for the 30 days she was there. And I'm not joking, because she was in Chicago. She was dodging bullets every day she was in America. So you can get killed also in America, please. Every country has its own challenge, so you don't limit it to just Nigeria. Thank you very much.
All right, let's not do that because we will not get anywhere.
Yeah.
I mean,
No,
I
please.
always
very beautiful power.
So
now
just a 10-second
let me
observation.
arrange this stage for 1 minute. So it will be
No, I'm not speaking. It's just an
Adelawa.
observation.
Okay, go on, Adelawa. Then I'll take Winnie and then President and then Victor.
Okay, all protocols observed. I just want to call attention of Gospel to the fact that we are not in a military regime. I don't know the last time you are in Nigeria. No president can order the governor, any governor in Nigeria, back from anywhere. It does not happen. And you don't get a clearance from Aso Rock as a governor to move to any part of your state. That will not happen. That has never
No.
happened. There is no
Please,
protocol that says
can
so.
I correct this
No,
impression? Please, can I correct this
I am
Joaquin,
impression?
coming.
just wait your
I am
turn.
coming.
Joaquin, just wait your turn.
We operate
Please.
a federal constitution that puts the
Okay.
governor and the president at par. Nobody takes instruction from each other. Thank you.
You.
I don't know where you get that from.
Elaborate
It
more
wasn't
when
in
you
the
get
news.
your
I've not heard
time.
about that.
Yeah.
Thank you. All right.
So Winnie, President, Victor, and then Joaquin. Joaquin had an observation. Omologo, I will move you quickly, but I'll bring you back, please. It seems you've spoken earlier, and we have a lot of hands.
Okay, yeah,
Please,
no problem. I'll just
bring
drop
you
to the
back,
listener
please.
section. I wanted to.
I'll bring you back.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Okay, beautiful.
Yes.
Can I go on? All right, thank you. Greetings to everyone. Godwill, you actually made me pick up the mic. And I want to say that your submission, you didn't give your submission well. And sometimes you do that. I've noticed, like, sometimes you deviate. I joined late, but I joined when we were talking about null fund. And you came up and you brought insecurity. And I categorically came to tell you, Godwill, that you can't cry more than the bereaved. I would want to put myself as a victim in quotes, and I live in Nigeria, I live in the north. What you've done has now led to Ayo Moses' response. So when we now seemed like he dampened the security situation, because if you notice, I had to come and tell him that, the way you put it like lightly. That was how I understood it. And it's your fault, God's will. It's your fault. You can't come and start saying things. We're talking about Nelfon, we're talking about policies, even schools in Zamfara. Have you seen schools in the north not access Nelfon? There was no point in you bringing that up. So when you people do this, you come, even with the victims, when we come to cry, you now water down our narratives, you water down our concerns. No, don't do that. Don't come and cry more than the bereaved. What I literally just heard is that you're trying to come and invest in Nigeria and insecurity is preventing you. So it's like it's coming from a selfish angle. You don't care that maybe I might be attacked. You don't care. This Zamfara thing, it's personal to me. You get? Because, okay, now in my own area, we're safe. My brother woke up one day and told us he was, before all the drama that is recently happening and Aki is shouting, don't do government contracts, and said he was supposed to be part of a team to carry out a state government contract in Zamfara. Like the whole family had to stand up and tell him, we don't care. You are not going to go there.
Wow. Who stopped that lady from talking now?
Yeah, I think it's our network. Winnie, can you hear me? If you can hear me, your network is gone.
I think Gospel removed that.
I beg you.
Zamfara, true. Please let me, I'll soon round up. You know, between Abuja and Zamfara, he was saying, oh, maybe he'll fly to Sokoto.
Winnie, is your network? Winnie, if you can hear me, your network is bad. Oh, okay. I think it was President.
All right, thank you, beautiful flower. My name is George. I actually live in Canada, and I want to stick to the subject and also briefly reply God's will. I few days ago, I think days ago, like that, at Dollarama in downtown Toronto, there was a knife attack there, and I think about two people were killed. You know, it doesn't stop me from visiting Dollarama when I want to buy something. You cannot say because of insecurities, people who are supposed to benefit one or two things from the government should not do it. Say, oh, if you have $200 million in your account, blah blah blah, and all that and all that. No, that's an absurd um, um, message you've been passing. And sometimes I feel that it is maybe excluding me. I feel that it is. I feel some people in the diaspora has a way of glorifying this insecurity as though where we live in the diaspora too, there are no. It's just because they know how to manage their information and they don't put it out there. A lot happened in Brampton. A lot happened in Mississauga. A lot happening in Toronto. They don't put it out there. Recently, I was just reading in the news at North Carolina, a Ukrainian girl was going into the train and she was stabbed in the neck by the guy sitting behind her. Doesn't mean nobody should take the train again. Let's stop glorifying this because of your love for one part. It is good to constructively criticize the government. Very good. Where there are no opposition in the government, government becomes the Lord and the mighty. So it is good to constructively criticize, but you don't criticize with propaganda. You don't criticize with absurd narratives. It is sometimes I carefully listen to Akin. I'm not saying it because he's here. I sometimes I read through his post and I see the maturity of the things that he says sometimes. You know, sometimes yes, I disagree, but sometimes I still agree because you cannot say, oh, um, because you are in an opposition, you have an opportunity of the government and you refuse to take it. The government that is in power, you refuse to take. If Peter Obi is president today, and I have the opportunity to supply solar panels and batteries and solar street lights, you think I will not take it because Peter Obi is in power? Come on, let's not let's not abuse our nation because we are in the diaspora, like as if here is all glorified. It's not all glorified. Come on. I've lived in Canada for years. It's not all glorified. There are things there are things that we when I'm in Nigeria, I'm happy I'm in Nigeria. I'm happy. In fact, I'll be in Nigeria in the next 1 month. I'm happy I'm coming to Nigeria. I'm excited to be in Nigeria. The last time I was in Nigeria, I have a family house around Alimosho. No, I think in 2000 and 2000 and I'd forgotten when they did this end SARS wahala that there was a problem. I think I think in 2021 when I visited Nigeria, I went to my family house. In fact, I just got that car and I drove to my family house. That night, I got there around 11. I didn't know. I knew there was this thing there was this NSAS. I think after the NSAS problem and everywhere was calm and all that, and I think a lot of police went into cover. So it's Lagos was filled with one robbery or the other. I didn't know what was going to happen that night. I have pictures to prove. I drove in to my family house. By 1 a.m. in the night, the robbers came. They wanted to snatch my car. They brought me out. Who did this? Who did it? That was an experience for me. But guess what? After that time, the locals, we had to contribute money. We put gates, high gates at the estate gates, And we enlisted young guys to become security. We told the police, you have to always do your patrols here. We put we equipped them with machetes and wherever and all that, and that stuff died down. So you cannot demarket Nigeria with insecurities and say, oh, you have to pray and pray and pray and pray. My brother, that's exaggerations. Those are I travel along. I have a farm in Kano. I have a farm in Kano where I plant hibiscus flower. When I come to Nigeria, I'm going to my farm in Kano. So let's not do this. Let's not do this. Let's opposition not be a mess. Oppose constructively. When you say the governor said they were saying stand down, I quickly fact check. I will fact check your statement. That is not true. That is not true. The governor said he tracks them, he knows who they are, but he does not have the power to command the military forces. That was what he said. He did not say they told him to stand down, it's for you to stand down. That is a lie. Please, let's not do this. Let's not do this. Let's understand that no matter if you have a passport of any other country, Nigeria is still your home. And guess what? You will even feel better when you come to. See, let me tell you, the best enjoyment I have in my life is not when I'm abroad, it's when I'm in Nigeria. I eat fresh. It's when I'm in Nigeria. Yes, there is. Yes, I understand. Every country has their own problem. Yes, Nigeria has this. Yes, we will not deny the fact that there are there are states that are not experiencing one or two insecurity. But we can see this current NSA is doing a great job. If you cannot commend that, I will commend it. He's doing an excellent job. We can see sting operation by our DSS. The last time there was a sting operation in Niger, about 50-something bandits were killed. It's in the news. Those things don't make the news. Now, in my father is from Abia State. In fact, when I'm in Nigeria, I'm visiting Abia State. I'm going to go to Abia State. I'm going to post pictures when I visit. So let's not glorify this thing and think and let
I hope it's
people
not something else you are
like
looking
say,
for in
oh,
Abia
it's,
State
it's
too,
a
that you want
problem
to
of
go
yours.
and visit. I
Yeah.
hope it's not something else. So, because
No, I'm going
you
to
say
see
you
my
are
dad.
enjoying Nigeria, you have not explained what that one meant.
Yeah, my dad is from Abia,
I
so
had
I
the
need to
Afghan
visit
girls in
him in
Abia.
Abia.
Okay.
Yeah, so I need to visit him in Abia. So that's just my submission. I just want us to know that regardless of whatever party you support, regardless of, you are free to criticize, but please, let's be constructive. Let's not demarket Nigeria. Let's not scatter the country because your person is not in power.
Thank you.
Come on now.
Thank
Thank
you.
you very much.
Absolutely. Thank you. I'm gonna leave you.
So beautiful flower. I'll come to you, please. So I tweeted something earlier, and I'm getting a lot of hate mail in my DMs. And I said something very, very provoking. Anybody that feels offended, is just being dishonest. I said hardlining obedient on Twitter. Federal government contract candidate offline. And I say this because, again, Dr. Banwo, you're probably next to me on this stage. You equally made my life very difficult because every time they called you a mo, they call me a mo times two.
Now you drag me to the more business now.
so it's two moles next to each other on the space. Beautiful flower. I don't know if we call you molest or mola, but so and now we can laugh about these things. How many years later, and I think it's a very ugly part of our political discourse. It's very ugly. It's toxic. It's a turn off, and I will write a book about it later. We went from a very tense electoral cycle, post-election with the legal drama in the courtrooms. I just felt that was a waste of time. All eyes on judiciary, and then everybody else that said, "Oh, it's time for governance." People turned the pitchforks, and, "Oh, you are a mole. you have corn in your pocket, and many years later, that corn in the pocket has not translated into a government appointment. Dr. Banwo, I think Victor Abisoye and the Ayo Moses are the ones that are blocking our appointments in this APC administration.
I'm sure. I'm very sure.
So I say that because while people come online and they discourage others from benefiting from policies and programs, they are offline queuing at government federal agencies begging for contracts. And I'm saying this because I'm very offended. I'm very disappointed. You know, one of these individuals calls me a mole on Twitter, but wears a badge and goes to ministry in Abuja to beg for Emilocon contracts. And I say this because it is appalling, it is disgusting, and it's not even hypocrisy, it's just wickedness. You are begging for federal government contract, but you're telling a young kid that is 19, 20 years old to reject a student grant or loan that can help him further himself in life. It is just wickedness. It is wickedness. It is wickedness. Again, it's just not my style, on this app to drag and name people because I want to do it so bad, but I'm just saying, you know what? I only stay on the civil side of conversations on this app. But again, for people in this space that are listening, if you know people like these, it's wrong on all levels. And Dr. Banwo, just coming back to the theme of the space, renewed hope or renewed hopelessness. You are trying to renew your own hope by scoring a federal government contract that would line your pockets and give you what I call considerable profits. But you are online discouraging other people from advancing themselves, from benefiting from government policies that can, again, give them a leg up in life. And I think we're that crescent where we equally need to equally become very, very what's the word? I don't want the word mean or shrewd, towards people like this, but maybe I need to probably be one. I need to probably open that door because it just can't continue. I don't like it. I don't do government contracts. I on my tweet, on my spaces, I talk about it because for me it's just not my thing. I don't beg politicians. I don't even out of Peter Obi I supported. I would never fucking beg him for 5 naira. There's nothing he can do for me in this life. Let me just put it out here on the space first of all. So a lot of the
Mind your friend.
support, a lot of the energy we threw in was because it was based off of conviction. So elections are over, and people now have to suffer, being maligned, being dragged because, again, for some people just say, you know what, I'm going to just turn a different corner and loosen my support, go neutral. Or even for people like Balami that decided to flip over to the other side. They didn't commit any crime, they didn't kill anybody. So it's just sad that I just have to bring it up because for me, I'm very irritated. I won't use the word angry, but I just feel all kinds of.
Let me help you complete your thoughts here. See, I hear you 100%, but see, I've come to reconcile myself with that. Everybody accusing that I don't stay one side. And you can't stay one side if you are really objective. You have to be issue-based. Right now, we are talking about how Tinubu is doing on the macro level. And if I'm scoring Tinubu today, you guys can clip me. On the macro policies, I will give that man 75%. On the micro, maybe not so. On many other things, I was scoring 20%, 10%, whatever. But on the hustle to actually turn around the macroeconomics of this country, if you understand macroeconomics, that guy has done even better than Obasanjo. And I say that with all respect. But people don't, it doesn't mean tomorrow, if the topic I want to talk about is corruption in Tinubu government, I'm going to support Tinubu government. No, I'm going to then be like an opponent. But people can't deal with that because they feel that if you support somebody on this issue, you must also support him tomorrow. And I can never be that. And that is the problem of partisanship. I realize that the obedience who are accusing me of collecting corn or not collecting corn every time I say something to support the government, in a way, they are right. Because if you say you are an obedient, you can't be speaking against obedient now. If you say you are an APC person, there's a level you will criticize the APC government that they will say you are doing anti-party activity. So I realized that too late. That listen, okay, you're an objective person in anything. Even if my enemies, those who have called me names, come on this stage right now, and they want to talk, I'll give them microphone. And if they make sense, I will support them. It doesn't mean I like them. It doesn't mean I'm not aligned with them on other issues, but me, I'm balanced like that. But I realize that the way Nigerian politics is played is a winner takes all. If you say you are an obedient and you carry that flag, they don't want to hear you say anything against Peter Obi. They don't want to hear you say anything supporting Tinubu. And that shocked me initially, but I've realized that that's what it is. It's why I say, okay, I don't do obedience. I don't do Baptist. I don't do anyone. I go on my own song. The day I want to praise Tinubu, I'm free to do that now because obedience cannot say I betrayed them. The day I want to attack Peter Obi, I will attack him if he did something that is worth attacking. They can't say I betrayed him because I'm no longer part of them. So you too, your issue, I don't think I'm having that problem with obedience anymore. They know I've repeated it over and over. I'm no longer an obedient. I have changed my Niger Lives Matter, changed it out of the obedient mode, that we are non-aligned. Our constitution says so. We are a registered organization. Niger Lives Matter is an NGO in Nigeria, registered as an NGO in the US, registered. We are not supposed to be aligned, so we are not aligned. So we can say whatever we want. So it's like this book that is coming out. If I really, and I want to collect my money this time, by the way, I'm debating it in my head. Should I even do a launch? Because if I do a launch, I may get away with 100 million. Fuck you if you think I'm collecting con. I will invite the government people there. Let them come and launch, because it's their work I'm doing. Bayo Onanuga doesn't like me because I've criticized him so many times, but I'm sure if I send a letter to him that I'm launching, monetizing Tinubunomics, come there and come and support the team. How do I know he will not come? And if he come, I'll put my hand in his pocket, I'll collect my money. I'm not apologizing this time for what I'm doing. 100% of the returns on monetizing Tinubunomics is going to Niger Lives Matter. A couple of it I will not even spend. Is to help that organization to continue to grow. We do empowerment, whatever. And when it comes to politics time, we are going to X-ray. The one that is in an obedient I don't think they should vote for, I will do space on it. The one that is PDP that I don't think they should vote for, I will do. The one I think we like, we will do space to support him. Why? Because for me, Nigeria is paramount. It's not about party. We know there is no party separation in Nigeria. They're all the same. There's really no ideological separation. Everybody's just fighting for power. So why should I support any of them? Unless the ones that deserve to be supported. I will do the best of government, the worst of government. You're going to see me do that. I'm doing my research on senators right now. The 10 best senators and the 10 worst. I'm going to publish it with facts, regardless of the party. So, I think your own issue is that they're not clear where you are. You're an obedient on paper. Wait, let me finish now. Let me finish. Let me finish now. Let me finish. Don't grab microphone like that. Let me violence you small. In your own case, they're not sure whether you are with them or you are. So today you are with them. You have not formally declared I'm now non-aligned. I support some obedient positions in some of my stuff. In some of my stuff, I criticize them. But before I started doing that, I made it clear. I did videos. I did all of that. I am no longer aligned to nobody. So whatever I say, take it at face value. You can criticize it if you don't like it, but don't come and say somebody betrayed you or somebody has collected con or collected whatever. So if I wrote a book that, like this book now, it's a 100-page book that is basically teaching people how to monetize different policies of Tinubu government. We will see when I start it on Monday. I'm going to start with CNG. I'm going to tell the guy that has no money. These are the stuff you can do. This how to go about it step by step to get your money. The guy that is middle class, this is what you can do. If you have little money to invest, to cash out on CNG. The guy that is Baba Olowo, this is what you can do. I'm going to do it every month, every day for 7 days. Now, that is Tinubu work. That's what it's publicity people to have done now. So if I can put my hand in their pocket and collect my money, I'm fucking going to collect it. I will invite them and I'll tell them to donate. It does not mean after I launch my book, I cannot come after Tinubu on issue of security or all this is medical tourism that is all over the place that is costing us money. Those are separate issues. So I'm going to pass it back to you. I think so. That is the issue. Obedience, those who call themselves obedience and carry that flag, they have a right to be irritated if you are throwing bombs inside their house because you say you are one of them. If you are a Baptist, I can understand why they will call you a betrayer if you go out there and you are talking against Bat. But me, I'm not alive. So everybody abuses me because the way Nigerians see it, if you are not for them, you must be against them. And that's okay. I've reconciled my life to that one. Every time I do my tweet storm, you see some that will support it, you see some that will hate me. So you have to live with that, Aki. If you have also decided to become non-aligned like me, make it clear on your page. I am no longer an obedient to, I'm a non-aligned guy. I'm doing my thing the way I see it. Wherever it falls, I'm an equal opportunity violence guy. Then stay there. Okay? That way.
So just a reminder. I think I have done that in the most.
Oh, fantastic! I didn't know.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, but look, I say this right. Look, a lot of work we did in 2023. I'm very proud of. I
Me,
I
me too.
I
Mhm.
I think developing and getting our democracy to be a bit more mature is something we achieved. I think there's a lot of misconceptions about Nigerian politics that we demystified in 2023. People didn't have to collect money at the polls to vote politicians. People didn't need amala politics to be motivated. People can grassroots. People can organize for free, put their resources towards the cause of a politician without even visiting his house. I think all those attributes that you find in Canada, in the US, in New Zealand, in the UK, Nigerians possess all of it. And we can choose to be different when we want to be different, and we can be very intentional about it. So I think, that for the record, history will be kind to this generation is saying, yes, truly establishment does not always have their way. But again, the other place or the other curve where people fail to make a turn was on the question of governance. Elections are over. How do you then transition into accountability, demanding the best for the citizenry, getting politicians to not forget themselves and think they are demigods? I think that's another arena where we need a lot of what I call mental development as Nigerians. And our attitudes have to change towards people that are in government offices all across the board. So I think, that is not one you fix in an electoral cycle. It's going to take many decades. People have to educate themselves. It's not a politician at the top in Aso Rock.
Let's go back to our topic.
Yeah,
I don't want
So,
to get me to be an appraiser.
no.
Beautiful
So,
flower.
what?
No, wait, Akin. This is not an appraisal about the government or no government. The only thing I'm interested in today, the topic is very clear at the top. Tinubu's government's policies. Is it renewing your hope on your own personal financial survival, or is it reinforcing hopelessness? What are the policies of the government? Do they benefit you or do they not benefit you? That is what we are here to talk about today. Because I see a lot of policies of the government that people are indifferent to, that people are ignorant about, or that people are actively campaigning against just because they don't like the government. And like Beautiful Flower says, that is the most stupid thing anybody can do. Telling people.
Anyway, me, I'm tired. What I hear here is lamentation of people who join the courts, thinking they join the political parties.
Yeah, Victor, let me
Bye
just
bye.
finish. Let me just finish for a second. So we need, for those who are commenting the thread and saying this are an APC thread, no, it's not. Many of you that you saw me tell Beautiful Flower that for people to, when somebody says something that seems to support the government, call those on the other side if they have something to say. What I've been noticing, even the few of you that are criticizing policies when you stay there, even though most are just talking about the government itself, you're not telling me what you would do better. For instance, we talk about this CNG thing that has opened doors for a lot of young people, medium level, and very rich people. Okay? And I'm saying, why are we not exploiting? In fact, that's chapter 1 of my book. And I break it down step by step to take advantage. Now, when you come here, it's either that CNG policy thing benefits you to make money or it does not. If it's a bad idea that is reinforcing your hopelessness, then tell us why. That's what this is about. In other words, it's about an appraisal of Tinubu's government is saying they want to renew hope. And they are passing policies that they believe should renew your hope. Okay, that's their side. You as a Nigerian, I'm not saying take those policies and tell me whether these policies renew your hope or reinforcing your hopelessness. It's not a complicated topic. But when we start going into things that are not relevant to it, then we turn it into an overall appraisal of the government, which I don't want to do on this thread right now. The time I'm going to do that, I'll do it on my own terms, where we're going to put, should we re-elect Tinubu government? That will be the topic, for instance. And the people come in and they say why it should not be re-elected, why it should be re-elected. At that point, we are looking at it holistically. Right now, what informed this room for me, so that I'm reclarifying for many people who just came in, is that I was inspired to do this book that I'm calling Monetizing Tinubunomics. It will be the last kind of book people would think I will write, because I spend every week criticizing one thing or the other about the government. But I interview Tokpe Fasu. I like to go after top level guys. I've just interviewed the presidential candidate last week, right? He agreed to come. I didn't know he was going to agree, but he came. As I was dragging his ass over one thing or the other all over the place, he kept coming back to some of these macros and say, "Okay, do you know what percentage of the export economy we have achieved in the last 2 years?" I'm like, "What do you mean?" To my mind, listening to people on Twitter, it's as if we don't even have any export in Nigeria, as if we don't produce anything locally. He said it first time casually. So second time I confronted him that, what do you mean? What you guys are talking about? You want to grow your economy, you're not doing any export. How you are not encouraging local production? It's like, what are you talking about? Then he started to give me facts. At that point, I pulled it back, because there's nothing as stupid as you arguing with somebody who has facts when you don't have a contrary fact. So when he got off we finished the hot seat. It was a 4-5 hour thing. And I dedicated the next couple of weeks. What has even Tinubu government done as far as local production is concerned? And I was stunned. I will be honest publicly that I'm this ignorant of what this man is doing. Then I got provoked into, okay, leave Tinubu aside, whether you like him or not. If this man is doing so much to open doors for Nigerians who want to make money or who want to transform their business to explore, why not educate them about that? Whether he ends up benefiting Tinubu or not is beside the point. I don't do it for that. I don't do government contract. I don't approach government for shit. If I want to make my money, I make it in the economy. I just told you guys. I've applied for more than $300,000 for my AI varsity school, because I have a business plan, I have whatever. I apply for grant, I apply for loan. Let them start disbursing the money and not give me now. At that point, we will talk. If they tell me I don't qualify, maybe they will tell me. My point is, 1 month ago, I didn't know that. I didn't know about this CNG thing. I didn't know about I know of telephone, but I didn't know how deep it is and how opportunities are there for people not to collect loan. That's not even what I'm talking about. For you to provide services in the net fund area. Now, then I found the entertainment fund. Guess what? I started training my boys. Do you know that the entertainment fund, the reason why a lot of producers and actors are not applying, they don't have the documentation. They can't put it together. What is the mission of your stuff? The objective? How will you make money? They don't know. Guess what? I trained some guys. They are charging 250,000 naira to help you apply for the entertainment fund. I can say publicly, I can mention names of 5 of them that my students, I took them into a room and I did the decree for that. I say, guys, me, I can get away with 1 million if I want to do it for them. But you guys are young. You can take the middle level producers and all that stuff, ask them for 250K. They say it's too much, go as well down to 100,000. This is the template that I put together for you to complete the form for them. I have a guy that has done 14. He got himself cheaper. He charges 100K. But 14 times 100 is 1.4 million. One motherfucker boy that has no job 3 months ago is collecting just to help people fill forms. So I'm like, why are people just out there complaining? Can you not fill form even if you don't have a degree? You go to the website, you test it out, it's a Q&A. And then you go figure out how to help people. That is just in the entertainment sector. I could give you 20 monetization areas there. It's in some of them in my book. So that's why I wrote that book. That, okay, let me pick the big, even this tax thing they pass. Do you know that you, as an unemployed person, you could position yourself to start earning income as a consultant there? There are provisions there. And you that have some money to put in, you can actually do it on a higher level where you're profiting from this government policy. And I started seeing so many of them. Even a Greek, you can profit from agri without doing agriculture. How many of us even know that? How many of you even know the kind of the consultancy funds they have, that the basic stuff you have to do, like simple research for people? So for me, that is so. You see, I'm passionate about it. I realize that we are cutting our nose to spite our body, whatever they call it. Many of us are letting our anger, our dissatisfaction with Tinubu to cloud our opportunity to profit for ourselves in this same government. Time for election is coming. You do what you got to do in 2027. But 2025 is where you are. Your anger at 2023 is not going to pay your bills. I was very angry at 2023. I still believe, yes, this is where the parties will then criticize me. I don't think Tinubu won that election. That election no pure. And I'm not saying Obedient won it. I'm not saying that either. We don't know who won that election because they dabaru the tea overnight. But that is 2023. My anger was about 1 year. I sulked over that. I was upset. But the man is sitting in Aso Rock deciding your life right now. Whether you think he stole the election or didn't steal it becomes irrelevant at this point. The question is, what is this Baba doing now that I can benefit from? What can make me money in this economy so that I can survive until 2027? That if I still don't like him, I can then join people to vote him out. That's what I am about. And that's what this room is about. It's policies. Now, if you tell me, oh, the policy is having, is actually reinforcing hopelessness for you, then tell me why and what you would do different. That's all I'm saying. Because most of the policies of government have to be macro policies based. Federal government doesn't do micro, contrary to what I think my friend, this is my new friend I'm seeing for the first time today. Where is that your guy? Okay, that is making it clear to you guys. Micro is at the level of your local government and state. Macro is federal, but we are confused in Nigeria. That's why we expect our senators to come and build dam in our villages for us. What has he done for our village? He has been senator for 10 years. What has he done? It's not his job to do your road. It's not his job to build borehole. But we are confused the whole thing in Nigeria, where we are appraising our legislators based on structural things they did in our communities. So I can understand why they are now expecting Tinubu to be responsible for what happens in their Mushi local government. So, but we all need to wake up. Okay, yes, I think I've gone too far ranting here. My co-host has said I should pass the mic. All right, I give you back the mic, beautiful flower. My apologies if I went a little bit too deep into this.
It's okay.
Yes.
It's okay. It's okay, sir. So, okay, I think it's I'm not seeing a lot of people on stage. Jackie, can you mute because I'm echoing? Yes, thank you. So, Eze, can you? I mean, Jack can go on, and then we'll go to Eze.
Okay, thank you so much. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yes, we can. Okay. So it's nice to be here. I think first of all, I want to say that everyone is speaking from a position of passion, and I think one thing we all have in common as Nigerians is that we want Nigeria to work. Whether you are a Tinubu supporter, you are a P2B person, or a Tiku person, or Adebayo SDP, or Showore, we all want a Nigeria that works, that can be settled. Now, talking about what Dr. Ope has been hammering on, I don't think Nigeria has a policy problem. Growing up, there have been fantastic policies. And as a Nigerian, I don't think we have a policy problem. The problem we have as a country is implementation of policies. There are a lot of policies, when you go to different ministries, agencies from government. But the issue has been the implementation. So even as we talk about the Tinubu government, yes, there are wonderful policies, but the area I'm looking at it is the implementation. And again, talking from a rational point of view, some of us didn't support Tinubu, yes, in the last election. I'm speaking from Germany, actually, from right now. Some of us didn't support Tinubu. But when we looked at his trajectory over the years, somebody like me, I expected him, someone who has lost the ambition to become president for over a 20-year period, to actually come prepared on the job. Okay? And looking at his trajectory, especially when he was the governor of Lagos State, about the things he criticized as a governor then, coming now to see that those things he criticized are the things that he is now implementing, you know, it brings that question about principle, ideology. That's one. Now, everybody has been hammering on security, and that is where I want to dwell on. The progress of every nation is hinged on security in that nation. Without security, nothing happens in a nation. And I think that one is clear. So when we talk about foreign direct investments, for instance, I'm in Germany. If I have a colleague who says, Joachim, I want to visit your country right now, okay, I will not quickly jump on that excitement and say, oh, somebody is willing to come to Nigeria. The first thing that would come to my mind is, this guy, if he follows me to Nigeria, will he be safe? That's the first thing that I'm going to think about. This thing that, if this my friend or colleague comes to Nigeria, will he be safe? Will he be kidnapped? Will he be shot? And frankly speaking, I don't think I would, you know, welcome the idea of saying, okay, let's go to my country at this point in time. And that is troubling. So when people were talking about security being something that has to do, you know, that has to start from the low level, that is quite understandable. But the question we should ask ourselves is this. When we take the case of Banwo, for instance, the communities have organized themselves several times, okay, to protect themselves. Yet, these attacks in Banwo continue to happen. So you can have the best organization at the community level. How can you implement that security that you are talking about at the community level when you don't have the police at that low level? You don't have nothing to do about that. So you know, when you also take up something that we're talking about Zamfara, and I think the problem some of us have as Nigerians is that we are all glued to social media. For me as a person, every 7 o'clock in the morning, I follow Channel Television morning show. After that, I follow Arise News morning show at 9. At 7 p.m., I follow Politics Today. At 9 p.m., 8 p.m. Nigerian time, I follow Arise Prime Time. And I follow Newsnight. Now, when somebody was talking about the Zamfara case, I wanted to actually correct that impression early enough, but I wasn't given the opportunity. The governor of Zamfara said, and I quote this, and there was a group captain, Shehu, who was also interviewed on Channel Television on this case. What he said was this. He said, I swear by Allah, I know where these bandits are. I can track them. And in fact, there was an occasion where the military from that place were going to attack them where they were, you know, in company of the local vigilante. And there was a call from above that operation should be aborted. And it was aborted. And I think that is what is generating this furore everywhere. So it's not like the governor was not stopped. He was stopped. This was actually carried by Shehu Okimbaloye when he was interviewing this group captain, Shehu, on their channel. So I can speak on that authoritatively. Also, when
Tracking, can you hear
Can you
me?
hear me? Can you hear me? Yes, can you hear me?
Yes. Are you making the
Yes. Are you
claim
making
that
the claim that
I have a question for
I have a
you,
question for you?
but
Yes,
I'm
please go ahead. Well,
echoing.
I'm echoing.
Yeah. So please mute. So
Please mute. So
yeah, it's better. So are you making the claim that Godswill made earlier, that the governor of Zamfara, because it has been debunked by two people, but are you insisting that the governor of Zamfara was stopped by the federal government?
No, I didn't say
Okay.
stop. Okay. What I'm trying to say is that there was an operation in Zamfara of which the governor was very much aware and gave his permission for that operation to take place. But there was a call from above that stopped that operation.
Okay, so whether the governor is the federal. So go on.
Yes. And again, somebody says something that the president cannot stop the governor. And I think this is coming from the fact that many people don't really understand the governance architecture of Nigeria. This person that made the statement, I want to ask a question again. If the president cannot stop a governor from doing anything, the president can suspend a governor. That happened in Rivers State. So the governance architecture of Nigeria is such that everything that has to do with security stops at the table of Mr. President. So the president can stop a governor because, let me tell you, according to the military or the security architecture of Nigeria, the governor of a state cannot give instruction to any security head in Nigeria, not the police, not the civil defense, not the army, not anybody. So when you understand this architecture of the security situation in Nigeria, you will know that the governors are powerless. If the governors are powerless, how much more the people you consider to be at the grassroots level, local government, what can they do? They can do nothing, actually. They can do nothing. And that is why, for me as an individual, I'm disappointed because I expected that even though we didn't support Tinubu, that by the time Tinubu came to power by 2023, the first thing he would have looked at was this issue of state police. I think it's even coming late in the day. Because if you follow Tinubu politics right back in the days, especially when he was governor, you will think that this man was coming to sort of change the trajectory of governance in Nigeria, especially implementing those democratic ideals that will move a country forward. But what we are seeing today, for instance,
Joachim, you are not. Hold on a second. Hold on, please. Hold on. Joachim, mute yourself for a second. I'm going to give you back the mic. Mute yourself for a second so that there is no echo. I will appreciate, I understand you, and I'm feeling you as you are expressing yourself here. It's okay. What I want to hear more that I'm not hearing, I hear people who want to talk about how bad the government is in areas, but I'm not hearing what you would do different. That is
I'm coming.
Hold on. Okay? I'm trying to redirect you because I've tried, and you guys are not doing that. And that always frustrates me. If you don't like the policies of the government, give Nigerians a clear alternative that you will have done that will have made it better. It helps one, it educates me, educates everybody here, and begins to position whatever candidate you are trying to support for people to say, okay, this is a great alternative. If I have any problem right now, it's because I'm not getting and I'm talking about the general politician thing. I'm not getting a lot of alternative policy suggestions to what Tinubu is doing. He said he's doing CNG. You say you don't like CNG. What do you like? What should be there? He's doing Nelfund for school. You say you don't like Nelfund. What should he be doing? Okay,
I haven't.
I'm focused on that.
Let me correct something, okay? Okay. I have lauded some of the policies of Tinubu. If I do more of my posting on Facebook, all right? Somebody was talking about the insurance sector. When that policy came on board, I took to my Facebook page and I said this was something very, very nice and commendable. I posted about it on my Facebook page. So I am not someone who paints everything black. No, I am not saying that. The issue of Nelfund, of course, it's a welcome development. It's helping a lot of people who cannot afford to go to school. All right, but my concern is this. I said it from the beginning that everything that has to do with the progress of a country is hinged on security. That is the first thing, and that is my concern. All right, that is my concern. So, in essence, what I'm trying to say is, Tinubu coming into power, I expected him to do things differently. For instance, the security architecture. You cannot look at the failures of Buhari, the failures of past leaders, and you continue to move on that path of failure. All right? And my point is, take state police, for instance, like I said, you are talking about alternative ideas, state police. I said, for me, it is coming late in the day. Everyone who had followed Tinubu records or whatever had expected that by the time Tinubu was coming in as a president, looking at the security challenges we're having, he would be transmitting an executive bill, all right, to the National Assembly regarding state police. That is my point. Okay, so, and again, I was listening to...
So you're saying that you don't support state police.
No, is that your position? I am saying that, looking at Tinubu, for instance, that we would have expected that from day one, he would have been talking about how to transmit an executive bill to the National Assembly to implement state police. Look, this is a man who has nursed this ambition for more than 20 years. This is a man who supported Buhari, and APC had been there. And looking at the myriad of challenges we have in the security sector, we expected that Tinubu coming on board would have taken the issue of insecurity seriously by first transmitting an executive bill to implement state police.
Okay, so because hold on, Joaquin, because you are confusing me. When I'm talking, you will mute, so that there's no echo. I always mute when you are talking. All right, so that we can hear each other. All right, thank you. So I just want to be sure what your issue is now. So your issue is because he didn't do it 2 years ago, he should not do it now, or what exactly? Because we all know that every government. Oh, sorry, let me finish. When I'm done, I'll pass it back to you, sir. All right, echo is. So I just want to be clear where you are here. Okay, where we are looking at the policies of the government that can help you or me make some money for ourselves. That's what this room is about. And if a policy is not going to be allowing you to make money, that's fair game. You talk about it and you tell us what you will do different that will help you or individual citizens of Nigeria to be able to get some benefit, even if they didn't like this government. So you've mentioned this issue of state police now, and I'm wondering, okay, so are you against it? You say you're not against it. They should have done it 2 years ago. That don't matter. You're not going to say because he shouldn't have done it 2 months ago, 2 years ago, he didn't do it, so he shouldn't be talking about it now. Well, how is that? Does that even make sense? That could come into your factor, whether you want to re-elect him or not re-elect him, and I'm down with that. People should vote who they think is going to make their life better in 2027. But we are here today. So if you are in support of state police, then what are you criticizing?
Okay, can I talk now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes,
so I don't you saying that it doesn't matter is, for me, I mean, I think the issue is that for us Nigerians, we have for a long time normalized abnormalities. And so it's most times we feel these things are normal. So saying it is late in the day, I don't think you are going to tell that to the 143 people that have died just in Banwo within the space of this less than 2 years. And I don't think you can tell that to the total death within 2 years of Tinubu of 10,098.
I'm sorry, I'm just going to have to cut you off and we have to move on. You're not responding to my room, and I don't do that.
I'm coming to.
I'm going to mute you. Don't unmute yourself. I'm going to have to pull you down. Okay? Now I mute yourself. Or I'm taking you down, Mr. Joaquin.
You cannot monopolize this. You have to let people talk.
You are not listening. You can't come to my room and then decide you want to be stupid. With all due respect to you, when you are talking, I mute myself, and I ask a simple courtesy that when I'm talking, you also mute yourself. Who the heck are you to think you can just come and decide to disrupt my room? You want to open a room on how to just criticize the government? Then open the room. I'll come there. I will even join you. My room is not for that. I have a topic. And if you have ever been to my room, you know I like to stick to my topic. Right now, all I want to talk about, I don't care what you want to talk about, because that's what I opened the room for. What I want to talk about is Tinubu's government policies renewing your hope in Nigeria, or is it renewing your hopelessness? And if you are reinforcing your hopelessness, and if you want to criticize the issue of state police, which is where you are bringing up, I'm even allowing you to do that. But you are now saying you are not against state police, but you are just because you didn't do it 2 years ago. How is that a discussion? We talk about policies that he's doing now. Yes, I agree. If you feel that as a president should have done it 2 years ago, he didn't do it. All of that factors into your decision whether to re-elect him or not. But it's got nothing to do with whether you agree with that policy or not. So if you say, oh, I don't agree with state police, then tell us why. If you agree, then stop wasting everybody's time on it by talking about it should have come around 2 years ago. That's all I'm trying to say to you. And if you are not going to follow the rules in this room, don't come here. When you open your own, I will come there and I will obey your rules. Anybody who's open rooms there, know that if I come to your room, I'm not going to try to change the topic on you. I'm not going to try to disrespect you. Why? Because that is why you open the room, to have a discussion on a topic. Not that people will come in and then decide what they want you to be discussing. I don't play that. It's been a while. Maybe you don't really know me when I open my rooms. I don't play that shit. Beautiful Flower, are you still here? I think she slept. All right, can we please move on? We've had enough of that. Who's on the stage that has not spoken? I don't know.
I have not, Mr.
Okay,
Son.
please go ahead, Mr. Sonny Arokwe. Please go ahead, sir.
Thank you,
You have
Dr.
5
Payne.
minutes.
Yeah, I think this is my second time, to appear in your space, and I so much appreciate the opportunity you are giving for people to make opinions known. I will go straight to the issue. The first one is security, which is actually where it concerns me. Not only me, about 60%, 60, 65, 70 of people, most Nigerians living in diaspora. A good number of them want to come back and invest, not coming to look for contract in governor's office or Tinubu's office, but to actually bring back experiences and resources to start something. Yes, I know that because I am involved. Before I left Nigeria, the idea was to go and get resources, then come back and start something for my family and the entire Nigeria. Today, I cannot do that. Why? Because of the news. Somebody traveling from Lagos to Kaduna gets waylaid on the road. And we see it, they kidnap it. Actually, they televise it. You see them carry people inside the bush. And they have to pay ransom to get out of it. It doesn't stop there. They also show us where they are sharing the money. Now, the question in the minds of people like me is, where is Tinubu's army? Where is that Nigerian army that went to Congo, Sierra Leone, and to go after them? Because that's exactly what we are looking for. Yes. So, on the aspect of preferring solution, that's where I am right now. If it's me, because I know sometimes when we had the military guys in the seat of power, the first thing they did was to say, shoot at sight. I've not had that. Only just a few days ago, I had the military guys come and they were saying something like that in the Twitter. And they didn't quite make it obvious. Yes, grant gun licenses to people to protect themselves, since you don't have the capacity to protect everybody, right? Then again, on the issue of state police or federal police and all that, amidst all that, political turnaround, what stops you from employing people who from 18 to 25 years, temporary police, bring in young guys, give them uniform, arm them. If we employ extra 1 million youths into the Nigerian police force, that is going to be a big support to the existing force. These are things he can do. He doesn't need my advice to do that. Okay, then let's move from that security region to another region. Another region is hunger. There is nobody in Nigeria that is not complaining of hunger. Even some of the guys I speak with on daily basis, at the end of the day, they DM you. I pity in my mind because this is happening live. It's not acting. Now, Nigeria doesn't need macroeconomics or microeconomics right now. The real indices for us to know whether we are growing or we are not growing is through the ordinary people, the market women. Send your guys across entire market in Nigeria. They will get you the data you need. It's very simple. Now, in the past, from data available, they used to sell one bag of Gary for, say, 30 to 40,000 naira. Okay, we all know that. Then, as of today's Tinubu's government, it shot straight to over 100,000, 120,000. Yes, you don't need any specialist or economics to tell you what to do. You are the president. All you have to do is say, you know what, fellow Nigerians, I know things are difficult for you. Henceforth, any bag of Gary sold in Nigeria, I'm going to pay 50% of it. And the government price should be 50,000. It can't go beyond 50,000. Pay the rest. You can. If you have money to buy yachts, plane, and renovate houses, you can afford it. This is our resources. Okay, that's on hunger. Then let's move to the education area. Okay, see, a good number of people who graduated in Nigeria 10 years ago cannot get job. They are there live. They will tell you, even including people with PhD and higher degrees and all that. Why do you think I would accept to go and take loan and go and acquire a degree certificate on paper? At the end, a loan is a loan. A loan is not a gift. Then at the end of the day, I am owing. Not only that I'm owing, I don't have a job. I don't have a means to even pay back the loan. So, to me, I'm not saying the NEFON loan is a bad policy, but it's supposed to be a choice policy. There has to be a better one than the NEFON. Then, if you feel you want the loan for education, let it be a choice. That is for that. Then, what other areas we are looking at? The issue of tribal bigotry. Tinubu can put a stop to it. Please. He can. He is the president. If you sack one or two people in his cabinet, the message will go around. You are a Nigerian. Why are you demarcating Nigeria outside? Don't you know that if you are a government official and you say something out there, oh, whether it's Igbo, Hausa, or Yoruba, it's affecting you. And the recent cancellation of visas given to Nigerians, it wasn't by mistake. Somebody is snitching against himself. That is what it translates to. So
I've let you go for 7 minutes so that you don't say they didn't let you talk. So you have to wrap this thing in 30 seconds. I'm sorry, you're already over
okay.
7 minutes. So
Okay,
Can I say
Dr.
something?
Ope, I hang the mic. I
all
like
right.
to listen.
No,
Thank you.
thank you so much. Before, of course, I'm going to let people clap back at you because there's a lot to clap back at what you've said. Folu has been indicating. I know that he wants to talk. I'm going to let him talk in a second. But here, I'm just trying to get some clarity about what exactly you are saying. At least we are making an attempt now to try to talk about alternatives. So you are saying government should subsidize the purchase of rice and garri in the market by 50%. So that's what I thought I had you say on the issue of hunger. Does that even make sense?
Yes,
Hold
of
on,
course.
sir. Hold on, sir. You spoke for
Okay,
8
I'm
minutes
sorry.
and I didn't interrupt you, sir.
I'm sorry. I
Okay.
apologize.
Yes, I am going to give you back the microphone when 2 or 3 people have responded to you. Then you're going to have 2 minutes to then address everybody. That's how we have a conversation. So thank you for that. So I'm just pointing out some basic stuff that you should address when you come back later. Is that what you are saying? We should go from subsidizing petrol to now subsidizing the food. Number 2, you said there is no job. Here's the reality that I even want the whole of Nigerians to know right now. If Tinubu government goes out there to start to be creating jobs today, if they cannot even reach 5% of those who are jobless, and it's not their job to understand that American government don't go ahead and be creating jobs. They put macros there, and then the macro takeover, and that is the whole essence of this book I'm talking about. So instead of us looking for a job that doesn't exist, there's no job. Companies are closing down. Blame that on Tinubu if you want. We are not getting enough investment as you get. Blame it on Tinubu, and I will agree. But the reality for you and I right now, and those who went to school, is that there is no job. And when there is no job, then the next thing you want to look is create your own job. And that is what Tinubu has done with a lot of his macro policies, that from even the way you are talking, you are not even aware of most of them. So you should get this book. Yeah, I'm selling a book. I'm not hiding it. You should get it when it comes out. Let me educate you a little, or let me give you some information. I found out in the previous room that when I say use the word, let me educate you, sound offensive. I didn't mean that. I don't mean to condescend. But for instance, you seem to think that the only thing that is out there is not fun for them to go get loan, because that's what you talked about. But there's so many things out there that's got nothing to do with loan, that got to do with you being able to generate job for yourself. I just talk about some people that I taught to help people to submit application for the grants under the entertainment fund. They didn't have to get loan themselves. All they need to do is help these producers who cannot write a simple profit and loss that you can do with the ChatGPT, and they collect money between 100 and 250,000 to help them do that. I taught them that. If you look at Credit Corp, for instance, you know that Tinubu had a policy in October 2023 where he passed the Consumer Credit Corporation Act into law under the Credit Corp. What does that mean for you? If you understand, for those of us who are Nigerians, I'm just going over one of these points that I keep making. Just that policy by itself creates a lot of money place for those who are looking to make money or who are looking to employ themselves. For instance, same strategy. Lots of businesses want to participate in this credit copting, but they don't have a clue how to do it. So a smart person can go learn the policies there, what they need to apply, and then be reaching out to those who want to apply for it, helping people to apply for credit cop credit. Okay, they are giving it. People here, they don't know what to do. You can position yourself to provide assistance there. They pay referral fees, in case you didn't know, for you to refer people to come and apply for their stuff. That's what I call entry-level play for guys who have no money to put in, who have hustle. Then that's what I call the intermediate play under this credit copting. If you sell phone, for instance, you can partner with PFIs to offer installment payments. Do you know how many people are not able to make enough sales of their products in Alaba, in a computer village and all that, because people do not have money to pay full money for them? But under this credit card policy that Tinubu put in place, they actually allow these certified corporations to actually allow you to make installment payments. That person that is selling computer phones in Alaba, okay, he can apply for a facility as a retailer with embedded credit, where now instead of paying 150,000 for the phone you want to buy, you can make installment payment of 30,000 naira per that is guaranteed by that credit card thing when you apply. How many people even know that? How many people are even taking advantage of it? That is for middle-level players who have businesses. Okay, so a phone that is like 300k, you can then sell it for 50,000 down payment with 250,000 naira a month. Your money is guaranteed. I have guys who are doing this right now. Your money is guaranteed. It is between the buyer and the bank that is this thing they put in place. That's then we have the place, what I call the third play under the same thing, which you can then be create a small company that will aggregate civil servants, students, or young workers to partner with PFIs to give them structured loan. All of that, you didn't have to take a loan. No, I just went through that a bit just to provide some context here, because that's the whole idea of me opening room. I didn't hide it from the first minute. My opening statement. I have a book called Monetizing Tinubunomics that I'm going to be launching in the next couple of weeks. And my job is to educate people with it so that hopefully those who are looking to benefit from this economy can buy it. Yeah, I'm selling the book. It's not free. I'm never hiding that. So if you want to say, I'm cashing out, yeah, that's the whole idea. I want to cash out in the Tinubu economy. You should cash out too. So my job is to show people where you can cash out. So my only concern for you is that you seem fixated as if there's only one thing, that the policy that is out there. No, sorry, I know I'm taking long, but I will give you the mic. I give you my word. After I got, maybe I should stop there. Follow, I'll let you take a couple of minutes to clap back at him, and then maybe one more person. Then we'll give the microphone back to him to wrap up. Go ahead, Follow. Let me just stop there. I have a tendency of over speaking. My apologies to everybody. It's my fault. So Tolu, go for it. You got the floor. Sorry, I saw you raising your hand. I thought you were already up. Did you have something to say to the man or not?
Section. Section rather. So, first of all, the Nigerians, know your constitution, right? And know what your president can do and your president cannot do. Your president cannot employ 1 million policemen. Do that and, no peace. Your president cannot employ 1 million policemen. The National Assembly will fry him. Okay? Separation of powers is very important. Now, let's go to the topic. What are the things that Tinubu's government is
No.
doing
I want
that
you to. No,
really...
it's a clap back for him. You are going to get
Okay,
your
I should clap
opportunity.
back first. Okay,
You
okay,
are going
okay,
to get
okay.
your 5
So,
minutes.
so he said a lot of things that one can predict and critic, and I'll quickly just run through them. You see, I didn't want to make it about him, but if that's what we're going to do, let's do that. You see, you can't say that, and this is even about the whole police recruitment and security, and it should have been done and all of that and all of that. Look, I tell people every time, because we don't pay attention to how politics works rather. You see, this regime, they will teach you politics by force. A lot of us don't know that the National Assembly plays a critical role. So when you say they should just get into office and then state police should be on board, do you know what it takes to get state assembly prepared? Do you know what it takes to get your National Assembly prepared? When Jonathan was there, how long did it take to sign the petroleum industry bill? You had the OICs who were a cabal unto themselves. You had the National Assembly who had their own personal interest cabal unto themselves. You even have your citizenry who was a cabal unto yourself. It took them 9 years to sign that bill. And somebody comes in, 4 tax laws signed at once in 9 months. Go and bring me another president that can change the country that fast. Because it takes politics. You have to sit down with people who disagree. You have to allay their fears. You have to bring them on board. You have to repeatedly preach and preach and preach. You see, I made a prediction about state police when the policy first came. I said, look, this is what is going to happen. The same thing that Tinubu has suffered with all his policies is what's going to suffer with state police. It's going to be first rejection. And then you see politics as play in a grand style. And you see everybody start to kowtow. Everybody start to bow down. Everybody start to kiss the ring. That is what will happen. The day that policy was announced, the day he made that statement that he has no choice but to start state police, ILY use consultative forum or whatever they call themselves. They put a press release outside. They say they don't agree. They don't want state police. These are people that in Zamfara they are stealing all their gold and they're cutting it away. These are people that they have
Exactly.
JTF and they
So
need state
can
police.
you just write because you only have 2 minutes, 1 minute?
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
yes,
I'm even
please.
almost done. So the key is this, right? Nigerians, you don't, because you are a president, think you are a power unto yourself. You must do the politics. You must get the people on board, get the governors on your side, get the state assembly on your side, get the national assembly on your side, so that when you come through and there's pushback, they debate it and they pass it.
All
So
right,
when you
thank you.
see the
I'm going
governor
to go
going
to
to
the next
Akpabio
person.
and they are just passing laws for him, they are passing laws for him because he has done the
Olu,
politics behind the
Olu, your
scene.
time is up.
Thank you, sir.
You had 1
Thank you, sir.
minute
Thank
to
you, sir. Thank you,
respond.
sir.
You are going to get your 5 minutes to speak for yourself. Now, please, let's keep to that. Then Nigeria, I see that you're on Nigeria Renaissance Project. 1 minute, if you have a clap back at Sonny, so that he can then wrap up his time on stage and we can move to somebody else. Go for it. 1 minute. And then Godwin, you get your 1 minute, and then we got to move on.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
My main issue since I've been listening to this particular space is there seems to be a common refrain among a lot of speakers where there is an attempt to trivialize the feelings of everyone who says anything negative about the policies that are at play in this government. Now, let me be clear. I resent this government in spirit, not because of what they do, but what they stand for. But I'm not going to go as far as say they've never done anything good. If anything, and I think any Nigerian who claims to love Nigeria should be able to admit to this. If anything, yeah, Tinubu's government has
If you
been
don't mind, I'm going to have to interrupt you. You are
sorry,
not
sir.
speaking your own 5 minutes yet. You are responding to Sonny. Do you have anything that Sonny has said that you want to have a rejoinder on or clap back at him? That's what you are doing for 1 minute. If you don't have, then wait for your
Right.
turn to speak. I don't like doing
I
this.
think I would.
Because it look like I don't
I
like
think
people
I'll.
to talk. So please wait for your
I'm
turn.
sorry. I think I would rather do that then.
All
Thank you.
right, thank you. So, guys, when I
Yeah,
say
thank you, sir.
respond, please do that because you are making me out to be a bad guy. Those who don't know what's going on, they will think I'm not allowing you to speak. What we are trying to do here, I know it's not usual for most people when you're in a space like this, is so that we can have interactive discussion. When somebody makes a submission, that's what you got for your 5 minutes. Then what I like to do is to have 2 or 3 people who want to join issues with that person to make some commentary either they want to disagree with him. Most likely it's those who disagree that I even want to hear from. So they disagree with him, then he gets 2 minutes. They get 1 minute to point out some errors in what they think he has said. Then he gets 2 minutes to wrap up. That way, it's a comprehensive back and forth. Then we go to another person for their own full 5 minutes. Then we also engage that person. So please work with me on that. It's actually much more interesting that way than everybody just making a submission and then going to the next person, make submission. We are not talking to each other. We are talking at each other. So thank you, Nigeria, for understanding. Gospel, do you have a clap back for Sonny before I give him the?
Yeah, just a short clap back.
Okay, I see.
Just to emphasize about the subsidy thing. Just think of subsidy as just like you have the earth, and I talked about this on the previous space. You talk about the earth. I talk about the sun. Without the ozone layer, human beings are not going to be able to survive on Earth because of the radioactive, because of the extreme temperatures, extreme heat and cold, and radioactive rays. So the ozone layer is there to buffer, to take that punishment, to make sure that the human beings survive on Earth. Just like that, you have what they call the subsidy. Now I know you talked about fuel subsidy and all that, but here's the deal: when you have a volatile crude oil market, international market that is being influenced by Russia and Saudi Arabia and all that, every change in dollar in terms of the international crude oil price is supposed to be translated to the Nigerian citizens if there is no subsidy, if there is no buffer, if there is no ozone layer. So this ozone layer is supposed to help cushion the effect of volatility in crude oil market as far as Nigerians are concerned. Taking that ozone layer away is just like you're taking the ozone layer away from Earth, allowing the sun's radiation to pummel and destroy the humankind on Earth. So if you move the ozone layer from protecting Nigerians from the crude oil volatility market, international volatility market, you're automatically exposing Nigerians to the price fluctuations and volatility in the domestic market as they go to buy their fuel. So, talking about the fuel subsidy, if you have to take away that protection, but provide some kind of buffer, local buffer, to Nigerians so that they would not feel the impact of the volatility of this crude oil. So the subsidy case is that, yes, you want to remove the subsidy, but what are you going to put in place to buffer and protect the citizens from being hammered and clobbered by this volatility in the international crude oil market? And that is the point I'm trying to make. That's why the subsidy,
All
but we've
right.
not seen anything yet. The protection, that's what I'm talking about. There's no protection right now.
All right. We don't enter our zone layer. Don't confuse. But Mr. Sonny, can you please wrap up your time on stage, because
Thank
they
you.
don't carry me go zone. I don't confuse. But go ahead, sir.
Sorry,
2 minutes.
Dr. P. Thank you. Please, I'm a very informed Nigerian, and I listen very carefully. I listen to you, particularly, Dr. P. Most of the economic policies you said I don't know that is in existence. I can simply classify them as secondary economic policies that has nothing to do with ordinary man in the street. And when I was speaking, I talked about the ordinary man in the street. I say, go to the markets and get the data. Okay. His Tinubu's policy, unfortunately, is the most inhibiting thing against his government. You get his supporters, core supporters, they cannot defend it. They deflect. I've seen you many times give them microphone. They weaver off to talk about P2B or Atiku. That means there's nothing there. And to be honest with you, I'm not surprised, because the day he was coming in, he didn't have the masses of Nigerian at heart. He said it's my turn. And everything he's been doing has been conforming to that. Let's not pretend. We know Nigerians normalize bad things. We have normalized a lot of bad things in Nigeria. We have tolerated it. There is nobody in Nigeria that says Tinubu should not be president. Oh, yes, he got the government through the glitch. Oh, yeah, rationally, the way we think in Nigeria, we say, okay, fine. If the military guys could grab government and become president, okay, we are better off with glitch government. But me personally, I believe he has the capacity to at least maintain Nigeria in above the threshold that is currently right now. But unfortunately, he's not doing it. There's a difference between what you can do or what you refuse to do. And we are facing what he refused to do, and he can do it. That's as simple as that. Thank you.
All right. Thank you for your response. Let's move on to somebody who hasn't spoken, who's on stage, who hasn't spoken at all. Folu, I think it's your turn, and then we go to Nigeria Renaissance. Now, I actually, okay, go ahead. Folu, you have your 5 minutes. Go for it.
Okay, thank you. I'm just going to highlight some of the most impressive policies. And it's so funny when we hear, where is the buffer that the subsidy was producing. Everybody knows why subsidy was removed, right? The problem is when you fight against something in 2012 and you remove it in 2025, it's because of what? Timing and the amount of fraud that it has cost the country. So it had to go. And it takes a ballsy, courageous president to remove subsidy. And he did it, right? First thing that you will notice after subsidy was removed is that state government allocation via FAC doubled and tripled, right? Go and ask your state governors how much they are getting, right? Go and ask yourself, when last did some of these institutions at the state level did not receive their salary on time? It is a thing of the past because there's so much money in the system now. That's number one. Number two, we talk about NEL fund. I was explaining to somebody earlier today. I said, look, when you have an always policy that says children should go to school for free, then a lot of them drop out in SS1, SS2, and SS3. What Tinubu has exceptionally done through a magic wand of politics is that said that he has included tertiary institution as an option for you to go to, essentially for free. No matter what your school fees is, NEL Fund will cover it and also give you a monthly stipend to spend. So the children of the poor can go to school, right? There's a moratorium on when you will pay back. If you don't have a job, you don't have to pay back yet. That is unfounded. America and the UK that we all look up to, they don't have this policy. You will pay 6 to 9%. if you borrow money from anywhere in America to go to school and to go and get a degree. You will pay it for 20 years, you will pay it for 30 years, you will pay it for 40 years. But Tinubu has said, go to university, go to polytechnic, go to college of education, get a tertiary education, and you will get it on my billing. Pay back when you have the money. That is what Tinubu has done, right? A lot of children of the poor are able to go to school now. Now, let me talk about money and finance. For years, we have been operating two parallel systems of FX exchange in this country, right? From the 80s, we have black market and we have the official rate. It has been destroying this economy. I used to work in the banking system. The head of my of my department got caught doing naira arbitrage. 70 million naira was taken from the banking system because of this naira arbitrage. You have people going to the CBN collecting money at 150, 300, 400, and they go and sell it. They go and sell it to the black market. Somebody came in, Cardoso and Wale Adu, and they said, look, we will do this thing systematically. And today, they've converged the parallel market rate and they've converged it with the official rates. There's no difference now. The BDC boys are crying, right? The Abokis, the Northerners, they are crying. Because what? We have a stability in the FX rates. And that is what political genius can do. It is not just about knowing finance and economics. You must know how to do it, when to do it, and you must do it well. That is why the Naira is stable, because companies can plan, because there's no fluctuation. Okay? So when the Naira was floated and everybody was crying, you think this man does not know what he's doing. He knows what he's doing. It had to go because people were gaming the system, right? Billions of Naira was being lost. They were gaming the system. But all of us have also forgotten that when this man came on board, he started with a 30,000 Naira minimum wage. Everybody cried. They went on strike. He said, you know what, come to Aso Rock, let's talk. How much do you want? They said 150,000. He said, NLC, you are not serious. Where do you want us to get it? We have removed subsidy, but we have to do critical national infrastructure. I will give you 70,000. They said, we won't take, we won't take. At the end of the day, politics won. They collected the 70,000. And if you get employed anywhere in a federal institution today, the minimum you will earn is 70,000. Most people get into federal institutions and they don't earn 70,000. So we're talking about something that is maybe 150 and upward for many people. But the private sector, they are not on board. You know, so many state governors, they are trying their best because the money that was removed from subsidy has been given to them at the state level. People are paying 80,000 minimum wage in Niger State. Lagos State is doing similar. A lot of states are paying more than the minimum wage of 70,000, right? And the states that are not doing well when it comes to payment of minimum wage, please hold your governors accountable because the president has flooded them with a lot of money. You know, other things that we can also talk about, right, is the fact that there has been a revitalization of the mortgage system. A lot of people don't know, right? I heard Dr. Otbe talking about Credit Corp. There's a lot of money in the system. Is it the tertiary institution staff fund, TISS fund, where teachers can collect loans of 10 million? You think ASU has been quiet for no reason? ASU is not quiet for no reason. It's because the government is coming to their aid. The government is coming to their aid. Teachers are able to get money, whether you are College of Education, whether you are Unilag, whether you are university, whether you are polytechnic. As far as you are a teaching staff, you can get 10 million for free, and then you will pay back as at when due. If you have a 30-year career, you can pay out that money in 30-year career. Some people have collected that money and they're going to throw it into high-yielding interest accounts, and they'll just be collecting what they can collect every year. Some people are going to start farms, you know. So these are the things that people don't know that people are benefiting from, and even those who were made for it. I remember when Nelfon started, some people were telling their region that they should not go and collect, that it is a lie. But Nelfon DG went ahead and went to go and see the VCs of these schools to tell them that you need to up your enrollment for this thing. Your students need it. So you see, at the end of the day, we cannot lie to ourselves, but the evidence is there. The evidence of what has been done has been there. I was talking about the Petroleum Industry Act that took 9 years to sign. Let me tell you something. If you didn't have a president like Tinubu, this tax reform bill, it would have gone the way of the Petroleum Industry Act. But this is somebody that talked to the governors who opposed it, talked to the northern governors who were scared that they were not going to get money. But you will see, January 1st, 2026, it is now a system of if you want more money, you go and work for it. You go and attract investors. You know, that's what you need to do so that your state will develop. And everybody's on their toes now. All the governors throughout the federation, they are on their toes because they are anticipating what is to come. See what Governor Bago of Niger State did. Quickly, He had gone to go and find somebody. He was going to go and align with the person who wants to process what's it called, shea nut, right? And 2 days after that ban, that 6 months ban that the president put, I saw the son of Boa Foods, Rabiu. He did a piece on the front page of the Guardian telling the president that he wants audience because there's a big market that him and his father can facilitate to bring about $100 billion or $200 billion into the country based on that ban. So these are the things that we need to acquaint ourselves about. And I heard somebody talking about microeconomics. Look, let me tell you something. The micros get impacted by the macros, right? You must get the big things right. You must stabilize your currency. You must stabilize your FX rate. You must stabilize the economy. A lot of people don't know that from January this year, inflation has been steadily going down. Core inflation and food inflation from 23% has been going down to 22 to 21. I think it's about 21.7 now. That is fiscal discipline. That is economic policy. We're not saying it will go down to 11% or 13% where it was a decade ago, but slowly but surely, food inflation is going down. Rice was 100,000 naira before. Today, rice is 57,000 naira. Okay, so Nigerians, I know that some of you, it is just ignorance. It's not that you hate the government, you're not paying attention, you don't know. But please get acquainted. Get acquainted so that when you go to the polls the next time, you won't go based on the hunger in your stomach. You will go based on the fact that I know what this government has done and I know what this government has not done. So thank you, Dr. Be.
Can I
All
do a
right.
clap back? Can I do a
Thank you
clap
very
back on him?
much. Hold on. Yeah, those who want to clap back, I will call a few
Yeah.
of you. Not those who want to support him. I will want to hear those who want something to say against what he has to say, so that that way we can have divergent of opinion. All right.
Yeah.
I see somebody just raised up his hand, but he just came up. I know I just brought you up. Gordon, you have been talking, so I'm not going to pick you this time. Let's pick somebody else. Mohammed, it's been a while since Mohammed spoke. That's Mohammed Waziri. If you, again, guys, when I pick you, it is just for 1 minute to comment on what Fulu had just said, so that Fulu can have another 2 minutes to wrap up. If you start talking about stuff that he has not discussed, I'm going to have to interrupt and shut you down again. My apologies to the audience. It makes me look bad, but I always insist on people must follow rules the way we have it. All right. So,
Mine is just 10
Mohammed, you
seconds.
get your 1 minute.
Doctor, mine is
No,
just 10
Godwin, no.
seconds.
With all due respect to you, sir, you have been weighing in on everything. Let other people talk. Mr. Mohammed, you're going to get your 1 minute. Somebody, Eze. And then there is a hospitality champion. So those three for now, let them do that. Mr. Godwin, you're going to get plenty of opportunity. You're on stage with me. Let them take that 1 minute. Let Mr. Folu wrap up, and then we'll go from there. Sorry about that. Oh yeah, go ahead, Mr. Mohammed. 1 minute. Go for it.
Thank you, Doctor, for the opportunity and privilege. It's not right. Let me just touch on the NELFON. When they started, it was only the federal government universities. Then I am even part of them. I said, most of these less privileged in Nigeria are in the colleges. So, and if we focus on the federal universities, we cannot achieve our goal. Now in my state, after the federal university, they introduced Ramat Polytechnic, they introduced Borno State University, they introduced Borno State College of Agri, they introduced Borno State School of Health, they introduced Wakabu. So instead of one at then, they turned it to 5, adding with that 6, 1. And we don't tell our brothers and sisters that that loan is 0 interest. First of all, that's what my people are using, because we are Muslim, we are not allowed to pay or collect any interest with loan. So they now started condemning it through that way. Then now the federal government come out and say, okay, it's 0 loan, 0 interest, sorry. 1. Then 2, how do you going to pay the money? Did you tell your citizen that that loan you are going to pay with 30% deduction? Let's say you are giving 1 million naira, so they are going to deduct 30% for you. Then you started paying it not at once, monthly, even that until when you get job. That's when after 2 years, there's a 3 years program, and join with your NYSC, that makes it 4 years. After leaving to the labor market, after getting the job with 2 years, that is when you started going to pay. And it's not instantly such, but they will spray it around, then you pay it monthly based on your own submission, based on your own employment, and they are not saying this to Nigerians. They are pushing into the carpet. The northern Nigeria that you're talking about, we don't know what we are doing, we don't know this, we don't know that. But we are the higher beneficiaries all over Nigeria because we concentrate. Then it comes to the insecurity issue. My own biological brother, I lost 2 of them. 2 of them. Gullo Ebele Jonathan, being a president in Nigeria, he did not care about it. He did not do anything serious about it until when he is about to campaign. It's coming down to second election. That is when he bashed into Maiduguri, Borno State, go to the Malari Barrack, from the Malari Barrack, come down to the Show's Parade. He left. The following week, he came back and campaigned. And if we are talking illegally, what Mr. President is doing is transparent, crystal clear. Everybody is seeing his policy and his program and the way he spends his money. But Gullo Ebele Jonathan went and buy ammunition, and somewhere else, the plight was arrested in South Africa. Do we talk about it? Where is our money? Where is
You
the
have 3
ammunition?
minutes, okay? So I wanted you to post questions for Fulu, but I think you've done that. Let's take the next
I
question.
don't have any question for them. All I want to do is just go and pass check. We don't have problem with that. What I send, if I'm lying, go and pass check.
You have spoken for 3 minutes. I gave you a minute. It's a rejoinder. Mr. Nigeria, please go ahead. Nigeria Renaissance Project.
I'm here or
Doctor,
Yeah,
can I quickly
somebody,
respond to what he said before we move on?
You have your time now.
Okay, I'll take it together, right?
No, right now we are discussing Mr. Fulu's submission. And you guys
Yeah,
are
this
not
is
used
fully
to.
speaking, sir. This is fully speaking. This is fully speaking.
Oh, okay. Yes, Mr. Fulu, can you just be patient? When it's done,
Okay, no
I'm
problem.
calling
No
those
problem.
3 people.
I'll note it down.
Yeah, yes,
I'll note it
exactly.
down.
So when I call those 3 people, when they are done, then you can then respond to them collectively. So that way we have a semblance of a discussion. This is so hard to do. Okay. All right. Eze, you have something to say? Please go ahead on this issue. If not, then because I saw your hand up, is why I'm calling you. Okay, somebody, do you have something to say?
Yes, I have a rejoinder to follow. Can I go?
Yes, sir, go ahead.
Yes, so first and foremost, thanks, Dr. Okpe, for this opportunity. To follow, first and foremost, when you are making a rejoinder, I want you to apologize to northern Nigerians because you said forest was taken out and northerners are crying. So that is very, very derogatory. They are Nigerians and they are not separate. Just said forest exchangers had issues. That makes more sense. And don't say northerners were crying. Talking about tax funds, I don't know what campaign you guys are doing about tax fund. It's a loan. If you don't need the loan, don't pick it. Don't go around Nigeria and be telling Nigerians, oh, it's a competition between North and South, Southeast and West. It's not a competition, it's a loan. These people are going to have those loans to pay. So there's no metrics for you to be determined how many people have gotten it or not, because you are going to impoverish these people in future. So please, there's no campaign of telling people they must collect loan when they have the resources. So that is not, I mean, the opportunity is welcome. I don't dispute that it's a welcome opportunity, but picking up the numbers that people are collecting it is not what we are talking about. Let the right people collect the fund. Then you talked about food prices. Do you know the current reduction in food prices because of importation? Ask yourself, the billions that your APC government spent in food security, in rice, in many crop products, what happened to them that we are now relying on importation of food to beat down the cost of food prices in Nigeria. Then you talked about state governors are getting more funds. Do you know this APC governor is actually practicing a voodoo economy? You increase salary by 133%, but meanwhile, when you remove subsidy, the inflation went off the roof more than 800%. Even the allocation to state governor are just about 200% more. But meanwhile, you are not matching their salary to the current inflation trend. You reduce the earning and you increase the value. And how does this money come? It's because of the forex. Instead of using 400 for forex, everything went up to 150, 1,005, 1,006, and that's why MPA has great revenue. Our income from forex, everything went up. But did you match Nigeria's salary? Did you match Nigeria income to match that inflationary trend? You didn't do that. If you have done that, Nigeria could have been going home with minimum of 250,000 minimum wage today. But you didn't do that. You reduced their earnings and everything went off the roof. And you are now saying, oh, we are giving governors money. Governors should go and do whatever. I mean, if we are talking about state governor, that's a different ball game. You only just worked on the number to make you feel good. Mortgage, you talked about mortgage. Well, I have no information about that, so I won't talk about that. Yeah, we are just the 1 minute. Those were just the few things I wanted to pick from your submission. Thank you, Dr. Okpe. But I would love to make my submission later on Tinubu's economy.
Dr. Okpe, are you there?